ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ರಮಣನಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದಳು ಉರುಟಾಣಿ, ಇಳೆಯೊಳಗೆ ಅತಿ ಜಾಣೆ ಸುಂದರ ಫಣಿವೇಣಿ. ಮೃಚ್ಛಕ ಚಪಕಿರನೆ ಕೇಸರಿ ಅಂದದ ಮುಖನೆ, ಸ್ವಚ್ಛ ಮುಖವ ತೋರೈ ನಿನಗೆ ಕುಂಕುಮ ಹಚ್ಚುವೆನು. ಬಲಿಯಾದ ನವಬೇಡಿ ಇಳೆಯಾಯಿ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡಿ, ಅಳೆದಾಳಿಗಳ ತೋರೈ ನಿನಗೆ ಅರಶಿನ ಹಚ್ಚುವೆನು. ದುರುಳ ಕ್ಷತ್ರಿಯರ ಕೊರಳು ತರಿದ ಹರಿಯ, ಹರುಷದಿಂ ಕೊರಳ ತೋರೈ ಗಂಧವ ಹಚ್ಚುವೆನು. ದಶರಥನಲ್ಲಿ ಜನಿ ದಶಮುಖನ ಸಂಹರಿಸಿ, ಶಶಿಮುಖಿಯ ತಂದವನೇ ಕುಸುಮವ ಮುಡಿಸುವೆನು. 16,000 ಸುದತಿಯರ ನಾಳಿದನೆ, ಪದುಮಾಕರವ ತೋರೈ ನಿನಗೆ ವೀಳ್ಯವ ಕೊಡುವೆನು. ವಸನಾರಹಿತನಾಗಿ ವಸುದೆಯ ತಿರುಗಿದನೆ, ಬಿಸಜಾನಾಭನೆ ನಿನಗೆ ವಸನ ಹೊದಿಸುವೆನು. ವರದುರಗವನ್ನೇರಿ ಕಲಿಯ ಸಂಹರಿಸುವ, ಸಿರಿಹಯವದನನೆ ಆರತಿಯೇತುವೆನು. ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ರಮಣನಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದಳು ಉರುಟಾಣಿ, ಇಳೆಯೊಳಗೆ ಅತಿ ಜಾಣೆ ಸುಂದರ ಫಣಿವೇಣಿ. ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ರಮಣನಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದಳು ಉರುಟಾಣಿ, ಇಳೆಯೊಳಗೆ ಅತಿ ಜಾಣೆ ಸುಂದರ ಫಣಿವೇಣಿ. ಸುಂದರ ಫಣಿವೇಣಿ, ಸುಂದರ ಫಣಿವೇಣಿ. ಶ್ರೀ ಶ್ರೀ ಸುಗುಣೇಂದ್ರ ತೀರ್ಥ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರ ಪಾದಗಳನ್ನು ವಂದಿಸುತ್ತಾ ಇಂದಿನ ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ಸ್ವಯಂವರ ಮೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಚಾಲನೆಯನ್ನು ಕೊಡಲಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಕೋರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಫಲಪುಷ್ಪವನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಗೌರವಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಸದಸ್ಯರು.
ಆರೋಹಂತು ಪುಷ್ಪಿಣೀ ಹೃದಾಶ್ಚ ಪುಂಡರೀಕಾಣಿ ಸಮುದ್ರಸ್ಯ ಗ್ರಹ ಇಮೇ ಯಾಃ ಫಲಿನೀರ್ಯಾ ಫಲಾ ಪುಷ್ಪಾಯಾಶ್ಚ ಪುಷ್ಪಿಣೀ ಬೃಹಸ್ಪತಿ ಪ್ರಸೂತಾಸ್ತಾನೋ ಮುಂಜಂತಂ ಹಾಸಃ.
ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ಸ್ವಯಂವರ ಮೇಳ HSVJ ಟೀಮ್ ಅವರು ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೆರವೇರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪುತ್ತಿಗೆ ಮಠದ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗಳು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಸಹಕಾರವನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ CEO ರಾಘವೇಂದ್ರ ವರದರಾಜನ್ ಅವರ ಟೀಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಈಗ ದೀಪವನ್ನ ಬೆಳಗಿಸುವುದರ ಮೂಲಕ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿಯವರು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಉದ್ಘಾಟನೆಯನ್ನ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಂತರದಲ್ಲಿ ಹರಿಣಿ ಪಗಡಾಲ ಇವರಿಂದ ವಿವಾಹದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರವಚನವನ್ನ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ
ಓಂ ಭದ್ರಂ ಕರ್ಣೇಭಿಃ ಶೃಣುಯಾಮ ದೇವಾಃ ಭದ್ರಂ ಪಶ್ಯೇಮಾಕ್ಷಭಿರ್ಯಜತ್ರಾಃ ಸ್ಥಿರೈರಂಗೈಸ್ತುಷ್ಟವಾಂಸಸ್ತನೂಭಿಃ ವ್ಯಶೇಮ ದೇವಹಿತಂ ಯತಾಯುಃ. ಓಂ ವಿಜ್ಯೋತಿಷಾವೃಹತಾಭಾತ್ಯಗ್ನಿರಾವಿರ್ವಿಶ್ವಾನಿ ಕೃಣುತೆ ಮಹಿತ್ವಾ ಪ್ರಾದೇವೀರ್ಮಾಯಾ ಸಾಹತೆ ದುರೇವಾಶಿಷೀತೆ ಶೃಂಗೇ ರಕ್ಷಾಸೆ ವಿನಿಕ್ಷೇ. ಓಂ ಜಾತವೇದಸೇ ಸುನುವಾಮಸೋ ಮಾಮರಾತಿ ಯತೋ ನಿದಾತಿ ವೇದ ಸನಃ ಪುರುಷದತಿ ದುರ್ಗಾಣಿ ವಿಶ್ವಾ ನಾವೇವ ಸಿಂಧುಂ ದುರಿತಾತ್ಯಗ್ನಿ. ಓಂ ಸ್ವಸ್ತಿ.
ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ರೀತಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ತನ್ನನ್ನು ತಾನು ತೊಡಗಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಬಡ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಸಹಾಯವನ್ನ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಹಾಗೆ ವಿಪ್ರರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಒಗ್ಗಟ್ಟನ್ನು ತರುವಂತಹ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ, ಹಾಗೆ ಯುವಕರಿಗೆ ಸನಾತನ ಧರ್ಮದ ಅರಿವನ್ನು ಮೂಡಿಸುವಂತಹ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗೆಯೇ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸ್ಪರ್ಧೆಗಳನ್ನು ಆಯೋಜಿಸಿ ಒಗ್ಗಟ್ಟನ್ನು ಮೂಡಿಸುವಂತಹ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಈಗ ಹರಿಣಿ ಪಗಡಾಲ ಅವರು ಈ ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರದ ಕುರಿತಾಗಿ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಹಂಚಿಕೊಳ್ಳಲಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಹರಿಣಿ ಪಗಡಾಲ ಅವರು ಬಂದು ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಸ್ಕಾಲರ್. ಅವರು ಮನೆಯವರ ಹತ್ರದಿಂದ ಶಿ ಈಸ್ ಲರ್ನ್ಡ್ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅವರ್ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಪಾಠ ಅಂಡ್ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ಶಿ ಈಸ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫೈಡ್ engineering graduate from National Institute of Technology in Tiruchirappalli. She secured gold medalist as well. And now actually she is going to talk about marriage for our younger generation. I am seriously recommending you to please hear and watch and follow her speech today for our younger generation. Thank you very much.
हे परमात्मने प्रणतक्लेशनाशाय गोविंदाय नमो नमः. ब्रह्मांता गुरवः साक्षात् इष्टं देवं श्रियपतिः आचार्य श्रीमदाचार्य सन्तु मे जन्मजन्मनि. अनधीत्य महाभाष्यं व्याख्यातं यदनुग्रहात् वन्देतं विधिना सत्यनिधिं सज्ञानसिद्धये. ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಪುತ್ತಿಗೆ ಮಠದ ಶ್ರೀಪಾದಂಗಳವರಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರಗಳು. I have been asked to speak in a simple English because the topic that we have chosen today, marriage or vivaha, is highly relatable to the younger generation. When actually Jagan sir first contacted me to talk on marriage, the first thing that came to my mind is that this is an age-old tradition. And age-old tradition, what can you newly add to this? But then, when I talk to a few young people, especially whom we call Gen Z today, I just came to know that this topic has changed entirely today. The concept of marriage as per the Shastras is very different from the concept of marriage in the minds of people today. Generally, philosophers say that it is the idea of God that has undergone so many metamorphoses. But I think it is after the idea of God, it is the concept of marriage that has undergone so many metamorphoses. That too in the past few centuries. There is a tremendous change. The entire concept of marriage, there is no divinity in the concept today. Our Shastras proclaim the concept of marriage as a spiritual bonding between two people. Now when I say bonding, I bring together the permanent friendship and love that cherishes between two people, and it is for the Dharma Adhyatma and it is by the Dharma Adhyatma. But today, we have removed the concept of Dharma and spirituality from the concept of marriage, and we have clearly made it a secular bonding between two people. That is the actual condition of marriage today. The concept of marriage has evolved from our Dharma Shastras. We have so many references in our Dharma Shastras which says why is the necessity of Vivaha, why should we get married, and how is it done, what are the procedures, etc. Now, any concept that has arrived from our Dharma Shastra is definitely related to the Dharma Adhyatma. But today, ridiculously, we have removed the concept of Dharma from a concept that has evolved from our Dharma Shastra. So I would like to present the first comparison between the Shastric perspective of marriage to a modern day marriage as a spiritual bonding versus a secular bonding. Now you may ask me, what is the effect of this? Well, the adverse effect of this change is that the purpose of marriage is entirely destroyed. There is no purpose in marriage today. That purpose is entirely destroyed. Our Shastras say, practicing Dharma, helping one another in practicing Dharma, moving towards a path of spiritual upliftment. Together, that too having a goal of moksha is what is marriage. Now this is the purpose of marriage as per our Shastras. What we have done today, we have removed all this. In simple words, if I have to put, our Shastras say, Dharma Artha Kamagalinda Moksha. Dharma Artha Kamadinda Moksha is what is the purpose of marriage as per our Shastras. Today there is no concept of Dharma and Moksha in the concept of marriage. And we may wonder, how this change has happened? Such a drastic change, that too in a few recent centuries. How this change has happened? Well, when I think, the first thing that comes to my mind is that the purpose of life is itself changed in today. If you ask any young person today, they will say the purpose of life or the aim of human life is to be successful, is to be wealthy, is to be happy, socially agreeable. But what actually is the purpose of life? Our Jagadguru Sri Madhvacharya says this: to know God and to love Him. That too with all the strength of mind, heart and soul. Tanu mana dhanagalinda bhagavantana bhakti bhagavat aradhana. This was the aim of life. This is what our Sanatana Dharma says as the aim of life. But today we have changed the aim of life. And now we are complaining that the concept of marriage has lost its purpose. Nevertheless, the concept of marriage is just an institution that comes in the way of life. When the path of the life is itself altered, it's a definite thing that the institution loses its purpose. But our Shastras portray marriage as a very significant thing. It is one of the 16 samskaras, Shodasha Samskara. It's a very sad fact that today, in 90% of the households, none of the samskara are happening. A person should go through each and every samskara in his lifetime, which will have its own impact and its own significance. Now today, even after all these, at least we should be happy of the fact that 3 of the samskara are happening, namely the Namakarana, Upanayana and Vivaha. And even in those 3 samskara, no one knows reason behind the mantra that is read. No one knows why this procedure is being done. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಆಚಾರ ವಿಚಾರ ಎರಡು ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. 90% ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಕೇಸಸ್ ನೋ ಆಚಾರ. Where some of the achara is followed, like Sandhya Vandana, be it a Gauri Puja, be it a Nitya Karmanushtana, people does not recognize or do not have the jignasa to get and know why those procedures are being done. Coming to the concept of Vivaha, Vivaha is a major samskara which comes in the 16th samskara. A person should definitely go through this samskara of Vivaha. The impact of this samskara is that whenever we do a satkarma, to get the fruits of the satkarma properly, completely, it is essential to go through the samskara of Vivaha. I'll give an example. This is a day-to-day example. We all would have put so much effort to prepare for an exam. Even we would have written very well in the exam paper, we will be expecting 95%. But when we get the result, we will be upset because it will be around 85%. There we will think that though I have put effort, the fruits that I have got does not match the effort that I had put. This happens in our life too. The satkarma that we do, be it going to Matha Mandira, be it doing a Pradakshina, be it a Nitya Karmanushtana, each and every satkarma that we do will yield the results. And to get those results properly, fully, it is very essential to go through this particular samskara of Vivaha. So Vivaha samskara, which actually comes at the beginning of the life. When I say beginning, I mean at the 25 to 30 years of life. Because after that, there is so much of life left for the sadhana. The position of a grihastha who enters the Vivaha, who does the Vivaha and comes in that particular ashrama, grihastha ashrama, is highlighted in our scriptures. Grihashramascha dharmanam sarvesham mulamuchyate, says Mahabharata. It is the grihastha who is the root of all the society. He is the root, says Mahabharata. Let's know this how. There are 4 categories here: a brahmachari, grihastha, a vanaprastha, and a sannyasi. Now a brahmachari, he just spends all his time in the system of learning. So he does not earn and support himself. Coming to the vanaprastha who lives in the forest, he just lives on whatever he gets. Then coming to a sannyasi, they are prohibited from earning and supporting themselves. So in this case, it is the only one, grihastha, the people who come in that category, who earn and support all the 3 category of people. A brahmachari, a vanaprastha, though is not directly dependent on a grihastha, the prosperity of the city has its own impact on the forest. So, grihastha is like a root, he is like a prana to the entire sharira. That is why our Shastras has always highlighted the grihastha ashrama dharma. Not because it is superior to the others. It is the sannyasa ashrama dharma that is superior. It is because a grihastha holds so much responsibility. The word vivaha itself means that, vishishtam vahanam, which means carrying the responsibility, having the burden. This doesn't mean the grihastha has the burden of his family. The grihastha has the responsibility of the entire society by supporting all the 3 categories of people. That is why the grihastha ashrama dharma is very much highlighted in our Mahabharata. People, lot of time they ask the question, though if you say that it is supporting others, that we can do even without getting married. Why should you get married to support others? What is the necessity of marriage? Well, I will describe a small story here, which is in Mahabharata, which clearly gives us what is the necessity of marriage. Vivaha eke. And this is the answer to this. There was a great tapasvi. He was a profound scholar, a prominent intellect, a great tapasvi. His name was Jaratkaru. Now, this tapasvi, though he had accumulated so much of punya through the penance, he stayed unmarried. he didn't choose to get married. One day he was wandering in the forest. There he saw a shocking sight. In the open space, Antariksha, there was one small thread. This thread was tied to foot of a few people and they were hanging upside down. That too in the open space, Antariksha. A small thread tied to the feet of a few people who were hanging upside down. And this thread is also going to get digested. It is being bitten by a rat. Now seeing this shocking sight, this Tapasvi Jaratkaru goes to those people and asks, what has happened to you? Why are you like this? Can I do anything so that I can redeem you? Now they say, we are Pitru, we are ancestors. We are in this condition because of one member of our own family dynasty. His name is Jaratkaru. He has opted to stay unmarried. So because of him, our family dynasty is going to stop here and we all are going to be in Naraka. Our Sadgati is not going to happen because of that one person who has forgotten his kartavya of getting married. It is not an option that is given to us to get married. It is a kartavya. It is a duty. Those ancestors say it's a duty to get married. Unless and until you opt to take a sannyasa ashrama dharma, it is a duty to get married. But this man Jaratkaru, he didn't do so. So we are in this position. And the one single thread that is tied to our feet is nothing but a representative of one single person left in our family lineage. And the rat which is eating that thread is the biological clock that is ticking. So what can we do? There is nothing that you can do to redeem us from this, says those ancestors. Now Jaratkaru realizes, these all are my own ancestors. They are talking about me. Though I read a lot of Shastras, I just stayed out of marriage, which I shouldn't have done because it is my duty. Though I was doing just a sadhana and I was not completely materialistic, but then also it is my duty to get married, which I didn't do. Jaratkaru there realizes his mistake. Now Jaratkaru decides to get married. He puts forth a few conditions that the girl whom he gets married should have the same name of him and few more conditions, which I am not going to elaborate here because of the time. Any chance Jaratkaru is in this 21st century, he would have never get married. Because in this 21st century, finding a kanya is itself very difficult. That too, posing conditions are really something that is out of terms today. Nevertheless, Jaratkaru was in that time, so he got married to sister of Vasuki, the Nagaraja. Vasuki is not a female. Vasuki is the king of serpents, Nagaraja. Vasuki's sister name was also Jaratkaru and she was ready to obey all those conditions. So they both got married. Now, the son or the progeny of these two Jaratkarus were a great tapasvi again. Once the wife asks, if you leave me and go to forest to perform penance, what will happen to my own spiritual upliftment? Who will be there with me? That is when the husband says, do not worry, you are already pregnant. You will give birth to a great tapasvi, and the person who was born was Astika. This Astika was the one who stopped the Sarpa Yaga of the Janamejaya. You all know the Parikshit Maharaja's story. So the point number 2 that I am going to make from this story is that it is the progeny that the society needs, a great progeny that a person who enters the Grihastha Dharma, who should give it to the society, is one more reason the person why he should get married. Only a great person, a great tapasvi, a great dharmic people who will further produce so many other dharmic people is possible only if the person is born through the samskara of marriage. So having the 2 points that there is no choice in opting to get married, it is a compulsory thing, it is a kartavya. Number 2 is the important fact, that is the santana or the progeny. The comparison that I am going to make now is marriage is a sacred tie. We all would have heard these words. It's a pavitra bandha. It's a sacred tie. It is a social contract today. Marriage is an implicit agreement today. It is a social contract which can be broken at any time of the day. Of course, marriage is difficult, marriage is compromise, marriage is adjustment. But this doesn't mean marriage can be broken. Arguments happen. Marriage is a very delicate flower. It should be watered every day, bilaterally, that too till the end of the lifetime. But then our Shastras say, though it is effort, it is worth making the effort to have a successful marriage. Though it is a strong effort, that effort is encouraged by Shastra, Madhva Shastra, which actually teaches us renunciation. Madhva Shastra teaches us a lot of Vairagya, and such a Madhva Shastra advises us to love our life partner, to be affectionate with our life partner. Dareshu putreshu suhrit sumitra janeshu shishyeshu gurau priyeshu Preetir mamasyat satatam gariyasi priyetare preeti viparyayasyat. This is a Prarthana Krama Shloka from Yadavarya. He was known for leading a renounced life. Such a Vairagya he had in his life. But then he asks God to bless him so that he can love his wife, his children, Dareshu, Putreshu, Suhrit, Sumitra, his like-minded people, his friends, etc. So even the Shastra which teaches us Vairagya says to be affectionate to our loved ones. And coming to the fact of Kanyadana. This is one concept that I wanted to address here because this concept is completely destroyed today. There is a popular advertisement going in the TV, you all would have seen, where the famous popular actress says that it is not Kanyadan, it is Kanyaman. These people, without reading the scriptures, not understanding the tatparya behind it, they just say whatever they get in their mouth. Kanyadan is itself a man, is itself a dignity to her. Kanyadana is not a humiliation to any girl. Dana is given. Dana is not charity. Our Shastras say Adana has a very valuable thing. The most valuable possession is given in Dana. But again I say, in the case of Kanyadana, this doesn't mean we are objectifying the girl. I will give two reasons why this Kanyadana is not objectifying women. The rules of Dana. Kanyadana comes in one of the 16 Mahadanas. Though Kanyadana comes in one of the 16 Mahadana, the rules and regulations of Kanyadana are very different from that of the other Dana, proving its differentiation. In the case of Kanyadana, the Vara holds his hand above and the Kanya has her hand below. But in the case of any ordinary Dana, the person who receives the Dana, his hand will be below and the person who gives, his hand will be above. When this normal Dana is considered, the person who has given the Dana will have no rights on the product that he has given. But as the Kanya's father will have the hand below the groom, it clearly shows that even though after marrying, the father will have his own connection with his daughter, and this is not like other Vastradana or Bhumidana where you give and wash your hands and go off. This is the first differentiation between Kanyadana, which clearly gives us the fact that we are not objectifying women. There is one more option, one more reason that I can give. In the case of any Dana, the person who receives the Dana, he becomes very sure that he has a complete authority over the object that he has received. Be it a Vastra, if I receive a saree, I can give it to anyone else, I can wear or I can throw, I can do whatever I want. But in the case of Kanyadana, the Vara says, Dharmecha, Arthecha, Kamecha, Nati Charami. I will not cross the line of Dharma. And what does the Dharma say? That he does not have a complete ownership on her. He cannot give the one he has got to anyone else. which is a clear fact of differentiation between all other types of dana to Kanya dana. And without knowing all these and so many other concepts, people today opt to easily deteriorate the significance of Sanatana Dharma. And one more concept which I would like to refer here is Agni Sakshi Vivaha. Vivaha happens with the witness of Agni. Well, this is what our Shastras say, Agni as a witness. Today, Vivaha happens with the witness of paper. Well, I do not have any objection on registering marriage. But just by registering marriage, if anyone says that they have completed the samskara of Vivaha, then that is not right. Register your marriage, no problem. But along with that, everyone have to go through all those process, all those vidhi vidhana strictly to clearly identify, to clearly say that we have completed the process of Vivaha. Agni is a Deva Sakshi. Even you can see in Ramayana, Rama when giving words of promise to Sugriva that he will again place him in the kingdom, he has done an Agni Sakshi because Agni is a Deva Sakshi. And there is one more reason why exclusively Agni is selected as a Sakshi, as a witness to Vivaha. A girl, a Kanya, when she is grown up, her Balya Avastha is actually supported by Chandra, the Devata Chandra. Her Pauganda Avastha, which is between her 7, 8 to 14 years, is supported by Gandharva. Then after that, she is supported by Agni. So she gets married at a time where she is protected and supported by the Devata Agni. That is why also it is a matter of fact that marriages are done in front of the parents, in front of the guardian. And that is also a matter of fact why Agni is a specific Sakshi, is a specific witness to Vivaha. There are so many other aspects in the marriage which a person should look into. I'll make a comparison here. Marriage or Vivaha is a deliberate union and not an accidental meet. When I say marriage is a deliberate union, the decision should be taken consciously. There are so many factors that should be analyzed before taking the decision that can be done with the parents. But today's generation think marriage as an accidental meet. There are so many concepts of love at first sight, marriage at first sight, and what all else which adds to this. Let us accept the fact that yes, our parents are more experienced than us. And I think in today's time there are no parents who will forcefully put their bride or groom in marriage. Today's parents definitely discuss about the concept of marriage in front of their children. In that case, it is a respect, it is a duty that the children do, that they talk about marriage, they get the consent of their parents. That is why among all the Vivaha, be it a Gandharva Vivaha or Rakshasa Vivaha, Brahma Vivaha, which happens with the consent of the parents, are always highlighted in our scriptures. There are so many instances given which highlights the importance of Brahma Vivaha. Though today there is no concept of joint family in our culture today, it has been completely diminished. But even though in Indian marriages, marriage is not only between two people, but I think it is a bond between two families. And the role of parents, role of guru is very important. When I say that marriage is not a passing acquaintance but a permanent friendship, there needs a person who will actually counsel if there happens any problem in the concept of marriage. And I think that person is a guru. That's why every family, I say in more kathas that I do also, every family should have a guru, be it the seer, I do not mean the Babas as guru, be it the seer of particular mutt, or be it great scholars who really understand our Dharma Shastras, who really practice Dharma. And if we have them as our guidance, then our life will automatically be in the right path. With this, as I have come to the end of the time that has been given to me, I'll just say one more thing. Today people ask, after marriage, why should only women? Oh, I can. Okay, no problem. I have been extended. Fine. Okay. So, as we were talking about Kanya and Vara, whenever we go and search for marriage, like we want a Vara for our Kanya, the first thing today's people look at is he successful? Is he in a good position? Is he earning properly? Is he socially agreed by his own community, his own people? But our Shastras gives us various factors which is the primary factors to look into a groom before getting married. Here our Shastras say, Sheela vritte samajnaya vidyam yonim cha karma cha. Sheela. Character is the first thing that comes when you look for the groom, says our Shastras. Because there is a familiar proverb, character cannot be built in a week or a month. Character is a thing that can be framed only through so much time, so many years. So when character is fine, when the character part gets okay, then all the others automatically align to it. But again, the second thing that our Shastras highlight before selecting a groom is his swabhava, is his nature. Often those with Western influences, they just say, you only say Stri Dharma, you give no importance to Purusha. Now today Purusha do not have any rules and regulations. All these rules and regulations are given only to the ladies. There is only Stri Dharma. But here in the aspect of marriage, our Shastras gives a lot of things that as Purusha Dharma. Atikrudde hyasantushte shat sukanya nadiyate. If he is short-tempered, do not give your daughter. He shouldn't be short-tempered. He should be soft-spoken. He should have patience. A lot of people blame us that patience is only to ladies. No, our Shastras says patience to men. And along with this, there should be vidya, and there should be so many other factors which should be looked into. That is why I made the comment, marriage is a deliberate decision and not an accidental meet. Well, this applies to women too. Women should have an, interest in Satkarma. They should have a lot of spirit to help others. They should have a very good character. They should have a pleasant attire, a pleasant rupa. I do not mean the beauty standards of today, but a pleasant rupa. All these are said in our Shastras for Kanya. That is why I said, whenever a Kanya Dana happens, it is a dignity to the Kanya and it is not a humiliation to the Kanya. What happens in the case of registered marriage versus the Agni Sakshi Vivaha? When it is an Agni Sakshi Vivaha, the Vidhi Vidhana, the process of the Vivaha is fulfilled completely. But in a registered marriage, that is not done. Now, I'll give an example. When we buy a house, we do a lot of things, as a process of registration. We get a legal advice, we check the registration, we go and even measure the land, etc. before getting the registration done, so that we can have faith and we can have a happy time living in that house. This happens in college admission too. Even before getting a college admission, we check and go through the process strictly. But why have we compromised when it comes to our life matter in the case of Vivaha? Doesn't going through all the process of Vivaha along with Ashirvada, everything, does it give us the faith that that will be a successful, happy marriage as in the case of any other? So Vivaha gets completed only if it goes through the process of Vidhi Vidhana. Along with it, anyone can register. That is a different thing. As I said, Vivaha is a bonding between two people. We were talking about role of parents and guru in Vivaha. I think the role of parents starts very early before the time of marriage the child comes. Because something the parents try to instill is only when they are very young. And after that time, they can only just trim it. They cannot instill new. At the time when the soil is completely ready, when it is ready to fertile, that is when these seeds are sowed. It is not when it is half grown, you cannot bend it. Parents should explain to their children that this life is an yatra, and the ratha in which the yatra moves, the two wheels of the ratha are the husband and wife. And the thing that connects between them is their love, the permanent friendship, is the concept of vivaha. So it is very important to have the vivaha in our life. Now there comes one more condition which is very prevalent today. Is vivaha a moral oath, or it can be a behavioral lapse today? Well, in today's cases, I think, I do not say it to our community, but a lot of people today think vivaha as a behavioral lapse. This behavioral lapse does not mean that the person does a behavioral lapse only through the action. Kaya, manasa, vacha, we should be committed to marriage. That fidelity, that strong fidelity should be there in us. That is actually the courage. That control of senses is the courage. Not slipping from the control of senses and then proclaiming our mistake openly is courage. Having the control of senses is our courage. Vikara heto sati vikrayante yesham na chetamsi sayeva dhiraha. Who is a dhira? He who has his control of senses is the dhiraha. And these great words, this is a word of Kalidasa, should be instilled in our children even before the stage they attain, who are ready for marriage. I'll here quote a fact about astrology. What is the part of astrology in marriage? Often we talk about horoscopes. We are classified as people who have a superficial belief. But astrology do have a fact. I'll give an example. We go to doctor with any problem. The doctor will check our history and then decide our future. Based on the history that he has read, he will decide on the future that which treatment is better for the patient. That is also what astrologer does. He checks our history and then he decides our future. But when it is done by the doctor, we agree it. We do not agree the fact when it is said by the astrologer. But be careful when you go to the astrologer, because in the name of astrologers today there are so many people who do not know A-I-E of Jyotishya Shastra. Never go to a Baba or an astrologer who just takes a linga from his mouth or who does magic. Acharya never does magic. Acharya will only bless. Acharya will actually give mantrakshata. Acharya will give vidya. Acharya will never do magic. This is a concept that has been fooled people. That Acharya, a great guru, will do magic. So it is a necessity to go and check horoscopes before getting married. There are a lot of factors which is supernatural, which is paramount, which is above us, that we don't know. And we have to accept the fact that we don't know. And that is why we have astrologers, we have gurus, we have parents who will help us where all we lag. And with this, I'll go to one more concept of marriage, which is Mangalya. And this is what actually I started to say. Women ask that only it's for women to wear the signs of marriage. Why don't men wear the signs of marriage? I think first I'll say it to men today. If you are an Hindu, if you are someone in Sanatana Dharma, make sure that the person who is standing in front of you recognize you as that. Be clear with your identity. If you are a Hindu, the person in front of you should identify you as a Hindu before you open your mouth from your appearance. And this goes to the women too. If you are married, let the person who is in front of you know that you are married. today people are ready for PDA, public display of affection. That is a very prominent thing because they say that it is a concept of displaying your marriage. Isn't wearing a mangalya or wearing a toe ring a display of marriage? Display of the concept that we have entered into Grihastha Dharma. And before, as I said, Grihastha Dharma is so much responsibility. But this doesn't mean that the Grihastha Dharma's responsibility is only on the shoulders of male. When the husband takes the responsibility of protection of the wife, wife takes responsibility of the caring of the husband. It is bilateral. It is bilateral today. And it is to be understood by us and should be taught to our children, that too from a young age. There used to be grandfathers and grandmothers at every house who used to instill values from our dharma into the minds of people. But today, unfortunately, as the concept of joint families almost disappeared, and a few here and there you can find joint families, they are also getting disintegrated. It is very difficult to instill values in the children. That is the real condition today. Marriage or vivaha is a very punya karya. It requires lot of blessings. That is why even before giving the mangalya to the groom to tie it in the neck of the bride, it is filled with the blessings, the enhanced blessings of all the elders. And they say that the mangalya that a lady wears, it has 3 threads which is made into a single thread. Just like the Yajnopavita, right? That also has 3 threads. Now, these 3 threads have Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara in it. Their Sannidhana, enhanced presence in it, which makes it even more auspicious. Just like the auspicious signs that a man wears, this is an auspicious sign. This is a sign that our dharma says that we should wear. And let us not give us any scientific reason why we do so. Whenever anyone asks why you wear kunkuma, why you wear gopi chandana, or why you fast on the day of Ekadashi today, people immediately say that it is very related to scientific, it clears our gut. No, let us not give a scientific explanation, it is not needed. Let us be clear. Our dharma has said us to fast on Ekadashi. We are doing it to please our God, not because that once in 15 days, fasting once in 15 days, we are clear my gut, I am not fasting. Let us be clear with that. Let us be proud of the fact. Because for everything you can't find a scientific reason. Science has limitations, not our shastras. Maybe it is not visible to us, but doesn't mean everything you prove it chemically or through volumetric analysis, whatever it is what is you give the tag of hence proved. Even people who have proved this scientifically, so many factors recently, has found that these are in our scriptures some yugas ago. It's an age-old tradition. That is why I started my speech by saying that every tradition that's in the Sanatana Dharma is an age-old tradition. Just can't count the value of it. It's such a satkarma. A marriage, happening of a marriage is such a satkarma. They say that even a lie is acceptable in the case of marriage is happening. And I am very glad that I am here today when HSVJ Foundation is doing so much of satkarma, is helping our community in this aspect, which actually needs the upliftment. Any marriage happening today is very difficult. Especially in the case of a groom, finding a bride is very difficult due to an inappropriate census among the male and female that we have today. This is prevalent. I am not just saying it. I am talking by statistics. This is prevalent today. So in that cases, I am very happy to be a part of the Karyakrama that is done by the HSVJ Foundation in spreading the awareness of the Sanatana Dharma, in instilling the values of our culture in the minds of people, in helping people to come across this difficult process of a contact which comes before the Vivaha. And I would like to offer this small seva in the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, who is present here in the proximity. Shri Krishnarpanamastu, Naham Karta, Harik Karta.
We are all say thank you very much for Srimati Harini Pagadala for her one and younger generation. We would like to actually ask actually every registered individuals, either the parents or the relatives who came for today's event, they can come to the stage and talk about few minutes so that actually it can be registered in this stage as part of our Global Swayamvara Mela initiative. Thank you very much. I would like to ask our videographer to stop the video for the people who are giving their profile in the stage. Thank you very much. Who wants to go early, please come to the stage and talk about your profile, either the parents or the relatives. Please welcome. We are giving a 15 minutes opportunity now, because whatever actually you talk today, this will be registered and the profile will be circulated within the community and the opportunity will be given in next couple of months. If they can't able to come to stage, we can offer the mic also. We can talk sitting in your chair. It's all the flexibility is available now. Please share your profile. God bless you. our Puthige Matha Advisory and H.H Foundation's advisory, Mr. Keshava Tadupatri, he is going to come and actually have few words about this event.
हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः यासाय भवनाशाय शीशाय गुणराशये हृद्याय शुद्धविद्याय मध्वाय च नमो नमः पूज्याय राघवेन्द्राय स्थितिधर्मरताय च भजतां कल्पवृक्षाय नमतां कामधेनवे. After doing Sashtanga Danda Pranamas to our beloved Swamiji Sri Sugunendra Tirtha Swamiji and also Sri Sushreendra Tirtha Swamiji, I like to offer a couple of points. Srimati Pagadala Harini, she has given a very nice presentation, and the difference between the traditional marriages that were going on and the modern marriages, the concepts, how dharma is being taken. I would like to stress one more point. Another difference is earlier the marriage was considered as a union between two families. The modern concept of marriage, the family concept is driven out and it's just confined to the decision of individuals. It became a union of two persons instead of two families. It's not like a joint two families, but joint two persons. And in effect, what happened was, suppose there's a tree, you have a branch of the tree, and if you cut off the branch, everything that's going to come out of that branch is also gone forever. So the traditional marriage preserves each branch of each tree. The family traditions is preserved by this marriage institution. So the traditional marriage preserved these branches. The modern marriage has taken out, like cutting off the branches of the trees. So that's another important concept. And another thing that has to be kept in mind is the woman or the girl who comes to the family, she's like, they compare to Dehali Deepa. Dehali Deepa means the light that is put on the threshold, it lights both the families. So she is like giving a light to both the families, both sides. So she is the kind of a hope for the future. So this marriage institution, it is in our traditional way, it is considered as a sacred preservation of the human values. And this we want to continue. The purpose of this very organization is to make people understand the importance of marriage and how it should uphold the society. So that's what we have to keep in our mind. So with the blessings of Swamiji and with the cooperation of all the people, let us spread the word. Please let all the people know so that more people join this group and they get the opportunity to continue our traditional values and maintain not only dharma, but the very structure, the basis of the society is upheld and continued forever. Thank you all for coming here, and this is going to be a tip of the iceberg. So more and more people, they come and join this form. Eventually, everybody will be getting benefited and we will preserve the values of the society. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for giving the short notes about our wedding. We are waiting actually Swamiji to come to release our app for the wedding registration for the future, brides and grooms. In meantime, somebody actually willing to give their profile. This is an opportunity. Who are missed out now, can you please actually talk about a few minutes?
With all my respect to the gathering,
Actually, we would like to convey our hearty thanks to you and our sincere sorry to you for the delay in the program which we are supposed to start due to some Swamiji's other activities. We couldn't start on time. So our sincere apologies to you for making you to wait for such a long time. And HSVJ Foundation is a non-profit organization which we have been trying to do our best to our community in whatever way we could do so, to give upliftment to the needy people in whatever way we could do so. And we have been carrying out various initiative to spread our Sanatana Dharma among youngsters by organizing various activities like giving them an opportunity to platform to showcase their talent. And we have been supporting the financially, economically poor people by sponsoring their education and for marriages. And we are trying to, this is our very first initiative of Global Swayamvara Mela, which we thought of so many people. We got call from many people that why don't HSVJ Foundation do such kind of activities which will benefit, and we started working on that. And today is our very first initiative and we have started this. And this is a recurring event. This is not the first and last event, and it will be on the continuous process. So we request you all to spread this word about our foundations, and so that many people will also get benefited. And we will be keeping updates and giving the updates to the people through email who have registered. And we pray Lord Krishna to fulfill all your wishes and dreams, and help you to find the right groom or bride for your family. And my hearty thanks to all the people who have supported this initiative. And our special thanks to His Holiness Sri Sugunendra Tirtha Swamiji of Udupi Puthige Matha for graciously helping us to organize this event during his Paryaya, Chaturtha Paryaya. So my hearty thanks to you. Namaskara.
ಕೃಷ್ಣಾಯ ವಾಸುದೇವಾಯ ಹರಯೇ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನೇ ಪ್ರಣತಕ್ಲೇಶನಾಶಾಯ ಗೋವಿಂದಾಯ ನಮೋ ನಮಃ. ವ್ಯಾಸಾಯ ಭವನಾಶಾಯ ಶ್ರೀಶಾಯ ಗುಣರಾಶಯೇ ಹೃದ್ಯಾಯ ಶುದ್ಧವಿದ್ಯಾಯ ಮಧ್ವಾಯ ಚ ನಮೋ ನಮಃ. ಪ್ರಥಮೋ ಹನುಮನ್ನಾಮ ದ್ವಿತೀಯೋ ಭೀಮ ಏವ ಚ ಪೂರ್ಣಪ್ರಜ್ಞಃ ತೃತೀಯಸ್ತು ಭಗವತ್ಕಾರ್ಯಸಾಧಕಃ. ಬುದ್ಧಿರ್ಬಲಂ ಯಶೋಧೈರ್ಯಂ ನಿರ್ಭಯತ್ವಂ ಅರೋಗತ ಅಜಾಡ್ಯಂ ವಾಕ್ಪಟುತ್ವಂಚ ಹನುಮಸ್ಮರಣಾತ್ ಭವೇತ್. ಆಪಾದಮೌಲಿಪರ್ಯಂತಂ ಗುರುಣಾಂ ಆಕೃತಿಂ ಸ್ಮರೇತ್ ತೇನ ವಿಘ್ನಾಃ ಪ್ರಣಶ್ಯಂತಿ ಸಿದ್ಧ್ಯಂತಿ ಚ ಮನೋರಥಾಃ. ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. ನಮ್ಮ ಚತುರ್ಥ ಪರ್ಯಾಯದ ಈ ಶುಭ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊಟ್ಟ ಮೊದಲ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವಾಗಿ ಜಾಗತಿಕ ಸ್ವಯಂವರದ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ನಡೀತಾ ಇರುವುದು ನಮಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಸಂತೋಷವಾಗಿದೆ. ಶ್ರೀಕೃಷ್ಣ ಅಂದರೆ ಅವನು ಗಾಡ್ ಆಫ್ ವೆಡ್ಡಿಂಗ್, ಮದುವೆಗಳ ದೇವರು. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಇತಿಹಾಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೈಯೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮದುವೆ ಮಾಡಿಸಿಕೊಂಡದ್ದು ಶ್ರೀಕೃಷ್ಣ. 16,108 ಹೆಂಡಂದರನ್ನು ಅವನು ಸ್ವೀಕಾರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಮದುವೆಯ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳು ಏನಾದಿದ್ದರೆ ಅದರ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ಅನುಗ್ರಹದಿಂದಲೇ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಅವನು ಕೃಷ್ಣನು ಸ್ವಯಂವರ, ಅವನು ದೇವರು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಯಂವರದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ಉಡುಪಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ಸನ್ನಿಧಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಪರ್ಯಾಯದ ಆದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆಯೋಜಿತವಾದದ್ದು ನಮಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಸಂತೋಷವಾಗಿದೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ಆಧುನಿಕ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿವಾಹ ಎಂಬುದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಯಾಗಿದೆ. ಈ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಯನ್ನು ಪರಿಹಾರ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮಾಜದ ಅಸ್ತಿತ್ವವೇ ಹೋಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಇದು ಮೂಲಭೂತವಾದಂತಹ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆಯೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಸಮಾಜದ ಒಳಿತು ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ವಿವಾಹ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗೆ ಪರಿಹಾರವನ್ನು ಕಂಡುಕೊಳ್ಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಸ್ವಯಂವರ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಪರಿಹಾರ ಎಂಬುದಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಭಾವಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ವಿವಾಹದ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗೆ ಕಾರಣ ಬದಲಾದಂತಹ ಮನಸ್ಥಿತಿಗಳು, ಹಿಂದೆ ಇರಿದಂತಹ ಮನಸ್ಥಿತಿಯ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ಏನು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ, ಮದುವೆ ಅಂತೆ ವಿವಾಹ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಉದ್ಯೋಗಗಳ ಟ್ಯಾಲಿ ಆಗೋದೇ ಅದು ಮದುವೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಹಿಂದೆ ಮದುವೆ ಆಗುವಾಗ ಉದ್ಯೋಗಕ್ಕೂ ಮದುವೆಗೂ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತು ಮನೋಭಾವ ಮಾತ್ರ ಒಂದೇ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು. ಅಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಹಿಂದೆ ಇತ್ತು. ಈಗ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತಿ ಏನೇ ಆಗಿರಲಿ, ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ಆರ್ಥಿಕವಾದ ಸಮೀಕರಣವೇ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಹಿಂದೆ ಆರ್ಥಿಕವಾದ ಸಮೀಕರಣ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಸಾಂಸ್ಕೃತಿಕ ಸಮೀಕರಣ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾಯಿದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರೂ ಕೂಡ ಸಾಂಸ್ಕೃತಿಕ ಸಮೀಕರಣಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಒತ್ತನ್ನು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಸಮೀಕರಣಕ್ಕೆ ನಂತರದ ಒತ್ತನ್ನು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿಗೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರೇ ಬೇಕು, ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಗೆ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರೇ ಬೇಕು, ಹೀಗೆ ಒಂದೇ ಇದರದ್ದು ಬೇಕು ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಆವಾಗ ಉಳಿದ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಆವಾಗ ವಿವಾಹದ ಅಭಾವ ಎದ್ದು ಕಾಣುತ್ತದೆ. ವಿವಾಹದ ವಿಷಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಉದ್ಯೋಗದ ಸಂಬಂಧವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಪರಿಗಣನೆ ಮಾಡಬಾರದು. ಗುಣನಡತೆಯ ಸಂಬಂಧವನ್ನು, ಸಾಂಸ್ಕೃತಿಕ ಸಂಬಂಧವನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾವು ಪರಿಗಣನೆ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಈ ವಿವಾಹ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗೆ ತಕ್ಕ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಪರಿಹಾರ ದೊರೆಯಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ಏನೇ ಆಗಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರೂ ಕೂಡ ವಿಶೇಷವಾದಂತಹ ಕಾಳಜಿಯನ್ನು, ಶ್ರದ್ಧೆಯನ್ನು ವಹಿಸಿ ಈ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಯನ್ನು ಪರಿಹಾರ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದದ್ದು. ಈ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ HSVS ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಹರಿಸರ್ವೋತ್ತಮ ವಾಯು ಜೀವೋತ್ತಮ, ಈ ಒಂದು ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಏನಿದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಸ್ಟ್ರೇಲಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಸಕ್ರಿಯವಾಗಿದೆ. ಇವರು ಇಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಜ್ವಲಂತ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಏನೋ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದು ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಅಭಿನಂದನೀಯ, ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಅವಶ್ಯಕ. ಅಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಅದು ಸಫಲವಾಗಲಿ, ನಿರ್ವಿಘ್ನವಾಗಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗೆ ಪರಿಹಾರ ದೊರಕಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾರೈಸ್ತಾ, ಇವತ್ತೇನು 3 ಜನ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಯಂವರದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿದವರು ಇಲ್ಲಿಯ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಸ್ತಾವವನ್ನು ಸ್ವೀಕಾರ ಮಾಡಿ ಮದುವೆಯ ಯೋಚನೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಸಫಲವಾಗಲಿ. ಆ ಮೂಲಕ ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಉದ್ದೇಶ, ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಅವರ ಕಾಳಜಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸರಿಯಾದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪಂದನೆ ದೊರೆಯಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾರೈಸ್ತಾ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತಹ ಆ್ಯಪನ್ನು ನಾವು ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಹಳ ಸಂತೋಷ ಪಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಶ್ರೀಕೃಷ್ಣ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಪ್ರಾಣದೇವರ ವಿಶೇಷ ಅನುಗ್ರಹ ಈ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನಕ್ಕೆ ಇರಲಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಹಾರೈಸ್ತಾ, ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಘವೇಂದ್ರ ಅವರು ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಯ ಪರಿಹಾರಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ವಿಶೇಷ ಕಾರ್ಯಯೋಜನೆಯನ್ನು ಆಯೋಜಿಸಿದ್ದು, ಅವರು ತಾನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅಂಗವಿಕಲನಾದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಉತ್ಸಾಹದಲ್ಲೇ ಅಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಯಾವುದೇ ನ್ಯೂನತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಉತ್ಸಾಹ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದೂ ದೋಷ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಅಂತಹ ಒಂದು ವಿಶೇಷ ಉತ್ಸಾಹದಿಂದ ರಾಘವೇಂದ್ರ ಅವರು ಈ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗೆ ಪರಿಹಾರವನ್ನು ಕಂಡುಕೊಳ್ಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಅವರನ್ನು ಅಭಿನಂದಿಸ್ತಾ, ಇದರ ಉಪಯೋಗವನ್ನು ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಪಡೆಯಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಹಾರೈಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. We are very glad to release the app connected to the marriage problem. Nowadays, the marriage is very complicated and it has become very problematic. So we should sort out the problems and re-establish the system of marriage, of old system, and we should adopt the values of the marriage of old system and also values of the modern life also. So in that way, we wish the app is going to help everyone, and you will be successfully, you are going to join this this app, and you will cooperate, then we can solve this problem. We pray Lord Sri Krishna to bless the effort and bring the success.
Now Swamiji is going to release a worldwide matrimonial app for today. It's a wonderful event. I really appreciate everyone who participated on this particular occasion. Can you please claps? Swamiji is showing the app through his mobile. We will be sharing this link to everyone. Please share to all your friends, families and relatives to ask them to download and get registered. This app will be benefited for many families to join together for our traditional Hindu marriage. From this occasion, this event is going to be completed and successfully completed as part of our initiative last 3 months. When I met Swamiji during the August, and we had a discussion, and Swamiji come up with this idea to start this matrimonial global initiative. So that is the reason actually, with his blessings, we have started that initiative, and slowly we built up that team, and now actually we have a dedicated team to moving forward for every occasions across the globe, in every cities. This is a long-term initiative. We have taken a huge commitment during our Paryaya Swamiji's blessings. So in future, everyone actually get registered and get the benefit for every individual families across the globe. I wish, thank you very much for this occasion. Swamiji has taken this part and blessing for our team. along with our H.H Foundation, and also for our future families, those who are getting benefited through app. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Once again. So this app is available in Android and also the Apple. And this is actually, if you go and actually search in the Google, putting at the H, this is for the Global Hindu Matrimony app. Thank you very much.